night. Yo, why you never take your coat off?
For what, man?
We be on
I'm not cold. I mean, it's cold outside. What you want me to do?
No, but you're inside.
I don't know. I'm just used to having my coat.
No, I was looking at the videos before, and I was looking like, damn, every single one of them, you got your coat on.
Not
unless it's summertime.
Yeah, summertime.
But why you don't take your coat
off?
off?
Cold. It's cold, man.
You don't be caring about how your fit look. Like
no.
You put this nice stove on.
I don't care.
No. Why?
I don't care.
Why you don't care? Put you on camera.
I want people to see how I look. I mean, my clothes.
Yes.
For what? I ain't promoting clothes.
It's not about what you're promoting. You're promoting yourself.
So you saying I don't look presentable?
You're presenting yourself.
No, you saying I don't look presentable.
I'm not saying that. We're going to ask Kiva when she come back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to ask Kiva because, like, I think you should take your coat. One day I was looking at one joint, you and Kiva had coats on. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They don't take his coat off.
Why is the fan on, bro?
Because
in the winter time.
It was hot in here. It was hot. Yo, first off, COVID, like, y'all need the air to circulate. Some people be stinking. They come in, they stink, they breath smell. I don't be want to smell, so I keep the fan on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that makes you cold?
No, I was just,
like
that was just, no, I didn't need it. Bro, I was working the cold all day. I'm out there all day.
You can take it because you're a white man. You're half white.
Nah, because it's all, majority is black at that job.
No, I'm talking about you. You're a white man, so you was built for the cold.
My white side won't allow me to answer that.
Yeah. I can't take that cold. I could never work in the cold like that. No way.
You know what's crazy? Because I got so used to working outside. It's so weird in the house. Like, I got to start getting stuffy and stuff. I gotta go outside, yeah.
That might, you got gas heat, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
I gotta get out the house. Like, get out to get some air.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Like, when I get in there, if I'm sitting in there for too long, I get stuffy and all that stuff.
Do you and your wife do Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Do I give her something for Valentine's? No, not all the time.
But y'all celebrate Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I get her something.
But it's haram.
Come on, CJ. We already discussed this joint.
No, right? Real shit.
How is haram?
Ain't it a pagan holiday?
Where?
I don't know. Got something with paganism or something.
Where? Giving your wife a gift?
No, I'm not talking about the gift giving. I'm just saying you know, super Muslim.
They would say not getting the gift part, but one day out of the year you giving your wife too much praise. But here's the thing. You look how you about to laugh because it sounds stupid, right? It sounds stupid. Yeah. That's how I look when it said to me, like, bro, you don't get the heck out of here with that stuff. But it's like, it's that. That's the main one. And here's the thing, it's like, is there any ibadah in it? There's no ibadah. So how is it worship?
No, you're right.
Yeah. Praise, you know what I mean?
Like
the thing is, like, I know what my position is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Huh?
You associate with the kuffar.
That's the next one, yeah, that you mimicking.
You're mimicking
the kuffar. Yeah. They got a lot of nerve with that. Don't go into that one, CJ, because these jokers, the same ones like that, you ever go in their basement, they got the eagle joint all around. You be like, what in the world?
That is mimicking the kuffar.
Huh?
That's mimicking the kuffar.
Yeah, that's super. Bro, that's beyond me. I don't even got that stuff. They got the Eagles chair, the football, the jacket, the hat and everything. They be...
That's different.
And no. This, look, right? You know how Jumuah... you know, and they be like, nah, that ain't me. And they be watching them games and them sports, and they switch, right? This would be hilarious about that. So they'll say that too, and then I'll be like, well, your son graduated, did you congratulate? And they'll stand up and cheering and stuff like that. They do that stuff. Yeah. The same ones that say that be the main ones doing that with the football.
Crazy with kuffar. You're mimicking.
They mimicking. That's what I'm saying. So don't go to that point.
I don't know.
And then the same one, it'd be like that, and then it'd be like, how you go to the interview? You ain't going that fold, did you? No, I wear a suit, but you really did a kuffar. I had to get a job, man. You know what I mean? So it's like, y'all want to be technical, let's get technical.
So if you don't get your wife something, do Will she be?
Nah, she don't be that. Sometimes people be like, don't get nothing.
So all right, so if she tell you don't get her something, do you listen and don't get her something?
Yeah, I don't get her nothing.
No, even
But
like
she be dead serious.
let's say if it's like her birthday.
Yeah, I don't get her nothing.
You don't never get another birthday?
No, I get her
Oh, but
something
if
for
she tell
birthday.
you
And
she's
she be
not
like,
getting
nah, don't get me nothing. I'm good.
So you actually listen to that?
Yeah, because she get upset if I actually did get her something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like that, man. She'll get upset.
Every year I would always say, like on my birthday, I don't want nothing. Well, I might say I want something, but I don't really be wanting to do nothing, right? And then all the time, it's like, oh, you corny. What you like? Every girl I ever did with, like I would do. Well, you don't want to celebrate. You supposed to. And I'm like, yo, that's what I want for my birthday, right? But then, like if it's your birthday, we're gonna do whatever you want. What I want, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I want still. So now I just feel like, all right, whatever you want to do, fuck it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
It's your birthday. It's my birthday, but it's really yours because because I always hear that shit. Like, well, why you want to do nothing? You being difficult.
I think like with that, you know, that's our culture, the American culture is like those are the things that we do. It has become like what you call that? Like money grab thing. All the holidays is turned to like a money grab thing.
But you know, I mean, some of that stuff is cool. It don't excite me. Even the Eid, man, like.
That's because you older. Me and you wouldn't look at it.
I might have got excited for the Eid when I was a kid, right? Not a kid, but like when I was a young adult, when I had little kids. But now, like the Eid for me is just the salat. Like I just want to go make the salat. That's a sunnah. I want to do it, but I don't. You know, I go get a plate, chill. You know what I mean? But I don't be wanting to. Like it ain't even like fun like that no more because we don't do the Eid like we used to do it no more. Like, you know, and everybody, at least around here, everybody that moved. It ain't the same people. You know what I mean?
I think that's what you said. That's kind of a serious thing. That's kind of like diminishing the community. It's like everybody doing their own little thing now. But you always say that. You say like, that's how it is now. Everybody doing their own thing. It's not supposed to be like that, but
no, it's not. I mean, back in the day, it used to be fun, man. Like,
I remember that. Yo, when I the dog said, well, like, man, it used to be busloads of people, busloads, 2 buses full of people.
Yeah.
And we would go to the East, like, and then sometimes they would go to like Great Adventures or something.
Yeah, we used to do that too. It's be mad fun, man.
Yeah, now it's reduced to like one van.
And we don't got no kids in the community no more.
Well, ain't no kids in the masjid, including myself. Yeah.
And that's in. Now I don't know about other masjids, but I know around here, like.
Nah, some masjids they got like a whole plan, like a basketball court inside of the masjid on the other side of the masjid.
I'm just talking about like from what I see around here. I know when there are really good thriving communities, but the ones that I know of, like a lot of, it's
telling you what, we need a summer camp, an Islamic summer camp like the land have.
No, you're right.
And I think that would change a lot, cause
it always comes down to who gonna pay for it. That's always
the parents.
No. I mean, one, then that's a whole nother discussion. The parents got money, and then who's gonna organize it, pay for it. That's what I.
Yeah, that's when it would take like more like a everybody come together and just like pay their part in doing it.
You know, bro. You know how hard business is.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would know that more than me.
Nigga, right now, business for me is like the most difficult. Like right now, this one season. Because everything's changing.
Because of the pandemic?
No. Now, I mean, during the pandemic, it was different because money was flowing. They was pumping money. Now what's going on, the government is pulling back. You know what I mean?
You don't know.
They raise the
that
interest
inflation
rate.
going hit.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what they trying to curtail inflation now. I mean, it's already there. So
they
now,
can.
Yeah, but the thing is, they the money slows up, and now they're selling out a lot of stocks and positions and stuff. So the interest rates, the interest rates going up, right? So how that affects us directly, one, people don't have money to spend. So there's a lot of people that haven't, like, just take this business, they don't get haircuts if they don't got freed up money, right? Mm-hmm. Then you also, let's say if you need a loan, they're not giving out loans because the interest rate, the rates ain't good, you know, or the criteria to get a loan is even crazier because people got debt. Yeah. I mean, so the money just ain't flowing like it would normally flow. So the point I'm making ain't about me. I'm saying you're talking to religious organizations, right? Who, let's say they aren't a real organization, like textbook, right?
They're not recognized, yeah.
No, not even recognized. You're not structured. Like you may, like, yo, people go and open up matches where it's like, yo, this me and my buddy, we just got the storefront and now we're going to put the seller there. And it's a noble effort, but like, you're not structured to understand how to actually run a business. You know what I'm saying? So then when these pits and valleys that happen with any business happen, you don't know how to respond. So things like, all right, we want to get the youth in, you know, or we want to pay for so-and-so funeral, or we want to fix the roof, or whatever it is you want to do. The thing we always come up with is we need a platter sale, right? We're going to sell some platters, or we're going to have a fun rate. Good night.
If you were smart, you would open something in there to generate money to the market.
No, you're right. People come up with those ideas, but the problem is that is, yeah, you can lock the door, yeah, but that is an actual business. You know what I'm saying? So
the masjid is that?
No, the masjid putting a business in
That's
the masjid.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Now, say you put a store inside the masjid.
Not just
the
a store.
masjid is tax exempt.
It is tax exempt.
So would the store fall under that?
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is having people qualified to understand how to even run a business.
Oh yeah, right.
Because your masjid is a business, and knowing how to run it, it's a business with employees, with payroll.
That's why
you know what I mean?
Like they got board members. Most board members are business minded.
No. What I'm saying is you're right. What you're saying, but I'm talking about. Let's say we're talking about how these places get started on some buddy stuff. You know what I mean? So a couple people then went and I'm gonna go open up Masjid Kareem down the street. We just got a house. You know what I mean? If you don't actually know, and that place is only opened up because you got mad at Imam Farouk down the street. You know what I mean? So you left Farouk and you went and opened your own place in rebellion, and now you don't actually know anything about business or anything. You just know how to go to the van, and you know what I'm saying? And so you know how to teach and read and whatnot, and then all these things come along with it. It's hard to figure out. You know what I mean? So like, you're right, when there's a board, but let's say you go and get a board and you got a board full of people, because I know that used to happen at our mansion back in the day. We had a board, but the board ain't really know. You got a board of people in the community that ain't business people either.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, it's not supposed to be like that.
But here's the drawback. Then you get some boards where it's just straight business, and then you don't have
the religious,
no room for the spiritual part. So I mean, I don't know. That's a mess. But I don't always want to talk about that stuff. I'm not being able to talk about that. I don't even know how we don't talk about that.
You know, a lot of people ain't gonna like what I said about that Eagle stuff. The sports
right.
Because people really into that sports heavy.
Yeah, I mean, people. It's natural that people take. People pick and choose what they want to follow or not. So, like at the end of the day, they'll tell you, "Yo, Valentine's Day. That's
my point. My point is like,
you
made it far, but I come in your basement, or I see you on social media when it's a game on Sunday, and you got all the apparel. You got the little flags waving. You saluting the Eagles, or whatever team you got that you. You know what I mean? I mean, they really go all out for those sports teams.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but like I said,
I ain't nothing wrong.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, the Joker be allegiant in that, but then they tell you that, you know, like I said, this is haram, or you follow the meth hab is haram, or you blind follow it, but you blind follow it. Like, but all right, so what's the argument then if they say, but that's not my religious matters?
What, pertaining to sports?
Yeah, but then the same thing is.
You saying I'm imitating the kuffar. That's you.
But no, you're all right. So you're participating in a holiday that was based in paganism.
That's not.
Even though, but you're not. You're not actually performing ibadah.
That's my point. I'm not doing no ibadah.
But you're imitating someone.
There's nothing that's imitating anything with pagan ritualistic actions.
So you're getting your wife a gift.
That's it. You get your wife a gift, whether it's roses or whatever.
So what do you usually get?
Nothing. 1 year I got a Pandora bracelet.
She likes those?
She likes
all girls like that. That's a cheat code.
What?
You get one of them bracelets, right? And you just add a charm every year. Right?
Yeah, I was doing that.
Right? And then when it fills up, you just get another bracelet and just keep, and then they be happy. You just keep getting that same shit. Yeah.
That's what some women, man. Some women, the way they think, it don't be like that. Like it be more than that. Some of them want more.
Yeah, they
for real. They be want more. Like, man, I want a house.
Yeah, I saw a post today. Somebody made a post in one of the groups, and they were saying how the person said, "Yeah, I see all these people taking these trips, whether it's like
to
Bahamas or Dubai or whatever, but I don't see nobody going to Mecca." So like, I was like, "Damn, there's a point," but like, that ain't really like a flex. You know, I don't know. Like, what you think?
No. Like they're right. If you got the money to go to Hajj or Mecca, you're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, what do you mean? You mean Hajj or Umrah? Are they just saying in general?
I don't know. I mean, I thought the same thing.
Because Umrah is only like $3,000.
Yeah, when I went on Umrah, bruh, I had such a good time. I never wanted to not go. Like every trip that I took after that, I wanted to go back.
Yeah, but everybody say that when you go there. But
I ain't gonna front. Like now, when you did it, because you did Umrah and Hajj, right?
No, I just did the Umrah.
You just did Umrah. Now, all right, for you, when you did the Tawaf, right?
Man, wow, man. I ain't get to the Black Stone. You can't get to that.
I got to the Black Stone.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man. That must have been when I went.
No, but when you did the Tawaf, what floor were you on?
The first floor.
You was on the first?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had multiple floors.
Yeah, they got 3.
I had no idea.
Bro was... I'm not making this up. This dude in there on the Segway. A Segway. Going around the car. Not at the ground. He was up on like the second... No, not to run you home.
I don't blame him.
Bro,
I would do the same thing.
He was just like that.
Bro, when I went, we got there. I can't even.
You see a lot, though. You see people on stretchers.
Yeah, look, nigga. If I had money on me,
crawling.
If I didn't have no money, I had a little pouch across my chest. But if I had money, like actual cash, I would have paid one of them young boys to push me in a wheelchair, like the old people do. I would have. Yo, I was so tired, bro. Like,
that's the thing. You gotta be in shape. They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that.
Yeah, they don't tell you gotta be in shape.
And bro, I went. All right, so when we left Medina, because we went to Medina first, right? So when you gotta put your ihram on outside of the city, right? So we prayed 2 rakahs at the when we put the ihram on, did the 2 rakahs at the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and then got in the bus and went to Mecca, right? I didn't know how it worked, so bruh, you can only put on the 2 sheets, and the sheets barely cover me. It was so big, right? So I got the 2 sheets.
You didn't know that was 2 sheets?
No, I knew, but I'm thinking they gonna give me some bigger sheets. They gave me as big as they could find. But I had all these safety pins and stuff.
You ain't had yours before you went?
No, I got it when I went. I didn't know. Like when I went, they gave it to me when I got off the plane.
They tell you to shave your hair?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So what happened? I got there, and then I put the safety pins on, like, to keep everything together because it was coming off, right?
You know you're not supposed to have.
No, they told me I could. No, underwear. Yeah, they know I didn't know. So,
okay.
Bro, I'm freeballing, and I'm like, yo, this is so uncomfortable. It was the most uncomfortable I've ever been, right? And so when I got on the bus, right? So we on the bus, and it's a 6-hour drive from Medina to Mecca, right? Bro, I was on that bus freezing. That air conditioner was on. I ain't have no coat. Like, I was on there dying in that.
You didn't have a guide?
No, we had a guide.
Oh,
we had a tour
okay.
guide and stuff. But then, and I remember, bro, I had to go to the bathroom so bad, right?
You see the holes?
I'm good at it, right? So we stopped at a rest stop, and the guy said, "Look, I'm gonna take y'all to the cleanest rest stop that I know."
Yeah, because right,
bro, when I got off that bus and I went in that bathroom, I was like, I said, bro, this is the cleanest one you got. He said, this is the cleanest. I said, bro, no way. Ain't no way. Bro, like I was tippy-toeing because when you go through the bathroom and they got the excess voodoo water and they just splashing and shit. I was like, oh, it was so disgusting. It was, it was so uncomfortable. I get back on the bus and we go all the way to Medina, right? I mean, Mecca. We get to Mecca. We ain't get to Mecca. We got into Mecca at probably 1 a.m. So I didn't know how it worked. Once we got there, because I was with Suhaib Wet, right? So when we got there, we got to the room. He's like, yo, go freshen up and we're gonna go make the Umrah. And I'm like, bro, we going to sleep, right? And he's like, no, we do it right now. And I'm like, get out of here. Bro, I was dead tired. So it's 1:30 in the morning, and we walked over there. And I didn't even, I know that the Kaaba's open all the time, but I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know why I thought at 1:30 in the morning, we're going to go to bed, maybe do it in the morning, so, right? So we get up, go over there, go to do the Umrah, and there was so many people, bro. Like,
yeah,
we ended up getting separated. Like, I got separated from Suhaib Webbing, right? And so I was on my own. Now, all I had a pouch. Like, not a pouch, but like, you know them like drawstring book bag?
Yeah, I know.
Free joint. I had one of them on. And so I had my phone in there and my room key, right? So once I got, I'm doing the tawaf, and then, like, I don't know how we got separated with so many people, and I'm on my own. So now, when it was time to, I made the 2 rakas after I done. I got to the Blackstone. I'll be honest with you, I didn't touch it, right? And the reason why I didn't touch it because
everybody else was kissing that thing.
They was slobbering all over it. It was slobber.
And even the Maqam Ibrahim, you like, bro.
All of that, yeah. I was like, nah, I'm good. I did touch the Kaaba. So I touched the Kaaba, but
you ain't touched the Blackstone?
No. Because it was slobber. I'm sorry, that might have, maybe I missed the blessing because of that, but
you don't have to kiss. You can point. You go like that.
Yeah, I didn't touch it. It was slobber. They slobbered all over there. It was, and it wasn't no.
The Maqam was like that. The Maqam Ibrahim that's in the glass.
Yeah, I got to that too, and it was slobber all over.
All handprints. And
I say that. Bro, imagine if it was COVID then. Like, I'm like, I don't know how they doing it now, but so anyway, so once I got done, and then this is what I be talking about, like with all the rigidness that we be talking about with in the community, with the separating the men and the women and all that stuff. Bruh, there's no way to separate the people there. Like, yeah, everybody's touching.
When you pray in the Kaaba, everybody pray together.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, they tried. For the most part, they're outside, but when you're inside the actual haram, like you right next to people. So
yeah,
when I got done, because you have to do the tawaf. Then you gotta pray the 2 rakas, right? Bruh, I couldn't even bend over to pray. It was so tight. It was so tight. It was women right next to me. Yeah. And then I got this little sheet on, and I don't want nothing to come up and show. Yo, it was so uncomfortable. So then, or after that, we did that. So when we went to go do the Safa and Marwa, right? Yeah. Yo, I didn't know. Like, I had no idea.
You know, I got the handicap accessible.
Yeah, a little handicap. That's what I said. If I would have had money, I would have paid one of them dudes to push me in the handicap truck. Because, now mind you, I'm by myself. So I didn't know, because it's 7 laps, right?
Yeah, you go.
Right? But so I didn't know if it was.
You seen the lights?
Yeah, but I didn't know if it was 7 up and back or just 7 complete. I didn't know. So, and I didn't have, I didn't have, Suhaib Webb with me, with the man was, because we got separated.
So you just kept going?
No, I got it did. I got my phone out and I called Hanif. I called Hanif in the middle of the night. And I'm like, bruh, like, and he stayed on the phone with me the whole time. Not the whole time, but I did like 1 lap. And I said, yo, how many? He gave me all the figure and everything. And he was like, bro, you gotta get off the phone. You want to break your
back.
And I'm like, yo, I don't know. Like, I need help with this. So he walked me through it. And bro, I had some flip flops. Now I know what to do when I come back. But I need some real some shoe, like maybe some Crocs or something with an actual grip on.
Yeah.
Because I had regular flip flops on.
And that floor is marble.
That floor is marble. That
so
joint was hard as hell. No, it was just hard. So my feet was hurting. My legs are swollen. Like,
you know what was tripping me out? The locusts.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's like roaches to me. It's like, y'all see these locusts?
Yo, bro.
They was huge. They like this big.
Yeah. Bro, I never like that.
And I was like, what in the... Y'all don't see these.
That was rough, bro. That was only Umrah. And the whole time I'm doing, I said, bro, I couldn't imagine Hajj. Like, I would die. Like, I can't.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. But when they be telling me about the tents and stuff, like, I would die.
Oh, sleeping in the tents? Oh, yeah.
I know you're there for Allah. Like, your heart does change. But I did get a point when I was there, like, where I was tired. I was like, because I'm a little OCD.
It's crazy because when you're there, everybody pray behind the imam.
Yeah, you don't know who the imam is.
Yeah,
you don't know.
And it's like,
you don't know if he is Salafi, Sufi,
like,
nothing. Everybody just pray.
It ain't like the Hanafis go over here and they
everybody all together, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah,
that's what I love.
That's what I like. I was like, man, ain't no arguing and stuff. They do get rough when it's time to go around the Kaaba. And
then crazy part. So then when I was done, when I got done everything,
and when they in front of the Prophet said something,
yeah.
And I was for somebody like me, but I used to be like, man, that's strange. But then I'll be like, man, these people saved all their money their entire life to come here, just to see the Prophet said something and to see the Kaaba. So what do you expect? Like, they might not never come back again. So, they be like, they over-exaggerating and stuff.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Like, man, you don't know what that man went through to get here.
Yeah.
So we'll look at it and be like, yo, he bugging. You know what I mean? Like, get up. Because they'll beat him. Because they'll be there all day, like, in front of the grill and the Prophet or something. And just
good people over there, too. Like, real good people. But, yeah, but then when I got done, bro, I had to go to the bathroom so bad, bro. Like, so bad. And I was just looking for a restroom, and I couldn't find...
They got that hole.
No, I couldn't even find that. Nowhere. Like, and then, so I'm walking around, and I'm asking people, but I don't speak Arabic. And so, back then, I couldn't read Arabic as well as I can now. So, I'm reading the signs, and I'm like, damn, which way did I go? Right? I'm asking people. They don't speak no English. I'm like, bruh. And I'm walking. I went around. And when I finally found a bathroom, I found the bathroom. But I didn't. When I got out, I couldn't remember what entrance I came in at. Bro, I spent another hour trying to get out. Like, just so I could go straight to my hotel. I had to call my wife and tell her to meet me. I said, yo, you come out here and get me because I don't know where I'm at. And I was bro, my feet was hurting so bad. And then I felt bad because, like, I went home. Oh, and then, so the haircut, right? I didn't shave my head at all. So, anyway, I called Habib.
Why, you ain't like the barbers?
Bro, I didn't want to cut my hair off.
Okay.
And then they was like, well, you could just cut a little bit. I don't trust barbers. I'm even with that. So I just...
Bro, you did it yourself?
I did. I bought some clippers. I bought clippers when I was at the hotel in Medina. And when I got to the room, they said, yo, you can take an equal amount off you. So I did it myself in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And I took an equal amount all over, and I left, and then when I got back, to the group the next day. And all these niggas got bald heads, right? they was like, oh, I forgot you was a barber. I forgot you. I said, bro, you should have asked. I would have did it for you. But they would scout, bro. Like,
yeah, they get completely bald. Like,
but no, not just that. Like, they scalp, and then, like, I remember Suede Wade, his joint got scalped, but then his beard, you know, like, once you get a bald head, you want at least your beard to fade into the bald head. His is just, like, yeah, I was like, bro, that look bad. I wanted to fix it bad, but, you know.
Yeah, he ain't care. They probably don't care when they don't be thinking about none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They be just trying to do the ibadah stuff. Focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I want to go back. I want to go every year. Like, literally, that was the best. I don't call it a vacation, but that's like the best, you know, getaway I had ever. Like, I mean, to me, that's better than going to Mexico or Bahamas or something.
My thing about that is like, yo, why do you... My thing with people is like, why do they care so much what other people are doing? As far as the vacation thing.
Oh, vacation?
Yeah, like if they going, that's their business.
Mm-hmm.
Their affairs with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
But who be caring about vacations?
No, because when people be saying like, yo, they got money to do.
Nah, you know, people be trying to flex, man. Like they, you know, like they'll look. And want to judge your Islam based on, like, they might feel like
how do you know the person ain't going to Umrah?
No, they don't. You don't know what a person's doing because people only show you on social media what they want to show you. You don't know. You don't know how much money a person got, how much they pray. You don't know what they station with Allah. You don't know none of that. Excuse me. Yeah. You don't know none of that. So, you know, that's just people. That's just people.
I think this time, man, it's saturated with that judging stuff.
Well, now here's the thing. This is the crazy part, right? So, the more that we spend time online, the more of you get to create what your persona is, right? Now, here's the crazy part. As time goes on, now with this metaverse or augmented reality stuff, virtual reality stuff,
right.
Where your actual person is really going to be online. So you can create basically the person that you want to be, and you become that person, but it's literally just an online persona. And now what happens, like, over time, the line going to get blurred between reality and the virtual reality, because people are going to start spending. Like, we already don't spend enough time in person with each other. People are going to start spending a lot less time. Like,
what? In
physical.
That is crazy.
Bro, like, the stuff you can do in virtual reality now, bro, you can go to basketball games, football games, you can go to concerts, or like right from your house. And it looked like you're sitting right there. You know what I mean? So now think about this probably what the future of social media is, right? So where we are with we just making static posts, just words, maybe some videos, some pictures and stuff. But the future of social media is gonna be you physically interacting with people from your...
But not actually. It's a virtual.
Yeah, virtually. Your avatar.
Not you actually physically in front of somebody. You're there, not physically.
You're there in your avatar.
Yeah.
Interacting with somebody. Yeah. So now think about it, right? What that opens up. So now you're talking about not just social media. You're talking about you can conduct business meetings that way. You're gonna do transactions that way. You're gonna party that way. You even gonna imagine what a sit down is then. You know what I'm saying? You can literally have your sit down, your whole date virtually. You can get to know this person and talk to them and physically interact with them in the metaverse, and then decide, you know what, her dowry too high, I ain't paying that. You know what I'm saying? You do all of that virtually. That would be funny as a motherfucker, right?
That would be funny. You can see the dowry hanging over her head. You're like, nah, man. That would be funny as heck. You know how you go on somebody, you see their profile, it just pop up and sound like fire.
You be walking around with a dowry, with a price tag.
You don't walk right past. Like, all right, now,
Yeah, I'm like, oh, she cute, but nah, the price too high.
Oh, you look at her, you know, you scared, and that little profile box, and then you read it, and it says 5 grand, you're like, oh, nah, I'm good. Delete. You're like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm gonna go the other way.
Yo, it's crazy, bro. Yo, that's crazy. Dude.
That's funny as heck, though. But then I'll say, like, I can't get a bed.
So look, so imagine jokers getting their kneecap done in the Metaverse.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine that.
I can imagine it because it's actually going to eventually come true.
You think jokers gonna be doing Jumuah in the Metaverse?
Yo, that's weird. That would be weird.
But they say,
they're gonna issue a fatwa against
they're gonna have that. I'm sure they
probably. I
probably
don't know, like when the television first came out, Saudi Arabia was issuing fatwas against that, and the printing press. When the printing press came out, it was a big thing in the Islamic world. And they were saying, no, this is haram and all that stuff. Jinns with the television, jinns and all that. Bro, coffee was haram.
Because you know when during the lockdown, they came out. There was fatwas against because everybody wanted to know if you could pray Taraweeh behind somebody
in a screen. I remember that.
They
yeah,
said
no, yeah.
They said no, it's not valid. You know, but that you could still watch it and get the benefit from it.
Just do it in the house. You know, you do it to wrong. You can do it for as many as you know, like you can too. You ain't a hafiz or following somebody. Just do that.
Wow, this goes way crazy, man. Joker's gonna be, you know.
I don't understand. This is my thing with that. It's like the Prophet said something. He admonished. He ain't admonished, but he told him, he said, you making something, you constricting something that Allah has made vast, like the deen. It's all these avenues to get you out. Funny story, right? Because this is how we get the ruling how to make tayammum. Because Amr ibn Yasir, radiallahu anhu, they was on an expedition, like for the Prophet something, like a little expedition. He wasn't there at that time with them with this particular expedition that he sent them on. And they ain't had no water. So he needed to make a ghusl. So he was like, what do I do? So he rolled around in the sand. Like he just took his clothes off and rolled around in the sand. When he got back to the Prophet laughed so hard. Yeah. I
never heard this one.
Yeah, he laughed. And he said, all you had to do is this. And he showed him how to do the tayammum. Wow. Yeah, and it's like, yo, y'all making stuff hard on people. It's a story, right? I forgot. It's in a book I read about this Indian scholar, right? I mean, no, these people, they came from India to accept Islam, but it was cold where they was at, and they said they was trying to explain to the scholar, like, listen, it was like a lot of them, like thousands of them, to accept Islam, and he said, they said, listen, it's cold where we live at. Can we just do tayammum? Is there some other alternative that we can do? And the other people,
too cold to put water.
Yeah, and he said no, and they didn't accept Islam. They went back. So that one little thing, yeah, man, it was devastating to him. Wow. Because all he had to do was say was like, just do tayammum. And there's been incidents where Sami in New York, where the water gets so cold that they couldn't, because they up there by the mountains, they couldn't really make wudu or anything. And Shasa said, just do tayammum. Right? And they did tayammum. It's like, bruh, y'all making stuff hard, it's so easy. And that's why the Prophet did things, he did things in different way to alleviate the ummah. Why he prayed sitting down, laying down. You know what I mean? He sat in 3 different postures to make it easy for the person to sit. You don't gotta sit like this all the time. You can sit like this. You can put your feet down and sajda like this or like that.
Bro, I never forget when I used to catch it all the time for praying in Sunday, right, with my arms to the side, right, and my God, that would be places, and some what I would do purposely if I went to, say I went to a masjid where I knew that it might be some Salafis there or something. They don't they don't know I would just, pray right over left, right? But I was so used to praying in subtle, like where I was always around Malikis and people out as soon as they understood. I would forget. So sometimes I go and I forget. Now, for the most part, it would be people that would say like nice, bro. One time, bro, I was praying with a brother, and when we got done, the brother asked me, he said, yo, I don't mean to be funny, he said, but I never seen nobody pray with their arms to the side. He says, is my prayer still valid since I don't pray that way? I said, yeah, no, I told him, and he asked very nicely, right? I was like, Brown says I pray both ways, not a big deal. But I never forget one time, and I love this brother, he's a really good brother, man. But me and him got into a little, not a debate, but he tried to correct me when I got done. So we was praying. He saw me praying in subtle, and it was my fault because I should have prayed right over. I don't be wanting to cause an argument or debate or nothing, right? So when we got done, the man he says, hey, I noticed you doing that. He said, I take it you're from the Maliki school, but you do know why Imam Malik prayed.
And they try to say his hands was broken.
So yeah, he's trying to say. He said Imam Malik got beat so bad and he couldn't raise his arms, and that's why he prayed that way. And I said, so you mean to tell me that when Imam Malik, he prayed with his arms and beat so bad, so how did he get up from such? Like, I said, he just he get up with his face like, what and he just sat there. He's like, no. I said, bro, that makes no sense. That makes absolutely. I said, I'm not no scholar. I'm not the imam. But like literally, like, he praying, he just go down and like, how's he get back up? He just he got real strong shins or something. Like, that makes no sense. I said, no way to what happened. So I just like, to me, some of that stuff is so common sense. Like, that you don't even have to be a scholar to argue to answer those questions.
I think the Prophet ﷺ did that to make it more convenient for the Ummah to be more diverse, and then which way you can pray. For instance, like with in Hanafi you got a rub in the ghusl.
You have to in Maliki school too.
But I don't think you in Shafi you could just you could just wet. But you don't have to rub.
What's the name for that in Arabic?
Massa?
No, it's another word. I forgot. But it requires rubbing. It's called delk, right? Is it called delk?
With the rubbing?
The rubbing is called.
I don't know.
I can't remember the name, but yeah, you actually have to rub the water.
Yeah, right? I know that.
But in the Shafi school, you can just
stick your finger. You can just put your foot in the water.
But see, now here is my thing with that. Like, because if you consider what the conditions were back then, it wasn't running water. So my question always was to some of my teachers, I said, well, if we're making ghusl in under running water, is the rubbing still required? You know what I mean? And then their answer was always, you have to do it. So just do it. But that, to me, that makes sense because like back then it's not running water. So you're making waters. Let's say you got a vessel, you got a pot. That makes sense. You're not just going to dip your arm in the pot and bring it out. Like you got to actually take that water and then move it. And here's the other part. Here's the other part about it. So one of the sunnahs of wudu is conserving water. Yeah. Right? Mind you, they're getting the water from wherever they get it from. And it's in a well. You don't have so much of it, so we're conserving it. And then that's why because I've seen, you ever see the video of, what's the Maliki scholar's name?
Yeah, he made Muhammad Mendez.
No, not Muhammad Mendez. No, this is like old scholar. And he was showing how to make wudu. He made wudu with like one of these. He had
half
this much.
Bottle, yeah.
He made it half of this, and he made a whole wudu with it, right? Yeah. So he was showing how to do that, and then that makes sense because you can actually conserve the water. Now I never get. We was in class one time. Might have been Shuaib that said it, and he said to Imam, he said, "Well, what about like we talking about conserving water, but the water that we have is comes out and it comes back. Like we're not really wasting water if you're running faucet water because it's going from your wherever the water comes from in the ground, and it's coming out, and it just recycles. It just goes over and over. That's not. But you don't let the water run. But you're not wasting water like that. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking too critically. But it's like, does that same ruling still apply? Like with taking the water and actually having, we gotta call swing with it, because if do you still need the rubbing of the water if you actually, I'm standing under a faucet that's just running over top of me?
I don't think that's the thing. Like, cause all right, how does you fit? If you fall in a pool and you get completely wet, that's a ghusl and a wudu.
No, but did you have to rub that water?
No, you didn't.
Why not?
Because all the farther parts got wet.
Okay, so then Doke isn't required in
the rub when you're doing a ghusl. No, that's only in that type of circumstance.
Okay.
See, yeah, it's a concession.
Now in the Maliki school, you have to do.
Yeah, you do. When you're doing ghusl, you do gotta rub. And say that you gotta rub.
No, so the way that I was taught was like, when you, let's say I get in the shower, right? I take a regular shower the way I normally would, right? And then I literally, when it's time for me to make the ghusl, I make the intentional ghusl, and then I do everything again, just to make sure that I cover it.
Right.
That's it. It's crazy. Now I was like, yo.
The thing is though, like, all right, we know we supposed to rub, but I know I ain't gonna get my back. Kid.
You're right about that.
Hey, your back, you can't rub your back unless you got one of them brushes or something. So you gotta pour it, like over it. But you know what I mean?
Sometimes we get too technical with it, though.
Yeah. But I was saying that to say that those things are there to make it vast, to make it easy on the ummah, because it might be sometimes where you can't do it like that particular way. You might be handicapped. Yeah. You might lost your limbs, so it might require you to do something in a different way. And I think the Prophet tackled all those issues. That's why we have different ways to give that leeway to for us to have the ability to do things in different forms. It's beautiful how the Prophet did everything.
100, man. Like, yo, bro, I wouldn't like, I there's things I struggle with, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade being.
That's why I said there's people you making something, you constricting something that Allah has made vast because you think it's just your one particular way.
That's what I said. But like, so could you imagine yourself not be Muslim?
Nah, man. I would never.
No, me neither.
Ever leave Islam.
No, I know you wouldn't leave it, but I'm saying, could you imagine? Like, could you imagine what your life would be like if you wasn't Muslim?
Nah.
Like me neither.
Nah, man.
Even though I ain't gonna front, some stuff is not with the actual deen, but sometimes the people get on my last nerve.
The Muslims?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The Muslims get on my nerves, and I don't be wanting to deal with them. But the deen I love.
The most problems, wallahi, I'm not making this up. The most problems I had at my job is from the Muslims. Wallahi. All the Muslims. Mm-hmm. The most problems come from them. The non-Muslims, you okay? You sure you need help? You good? Oh, I see you going back there to pray, right? Oh, it's Ramadan. Oh, happy Ramadan, right? Ramadan where? Oh, that's haram. You know what I mean? That's bid'ah. The most problems you get, wallahi, is from them. Mm-hmm. But I told you that story, man. I told you the story about the guy that got the promotion. All the non-Muslim people, man, they congratulated him. Yeah. The Muslims ain't congratulated him at all. And he Muslim. That's sad, man.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah. You know where that come from, though? Not studying the Prophet's character. It just
it's that, but bro, people just got jealousy and hating them, and you know, like, bro, like, so you ever have like something? Let's say you got a character flaw, but you didn't really know it was a character flaw until somebody else pointed out.
Yeah.
We all got that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a culture. So like, bro, I never forget. Like I used to be so like, you know, Mikhail was my mentor, right? Growing up. And like, he was my ideal, like, as a man, as a Muslim, as a barber. Like, I wasn't blind following, but like, that was my role model, right? Like, I respected everything about him. And I never forget, like, when I first met Imam Amin, right? And, you know, I met Amin and we were studying and things were going good and all that. And one day we in a barbershop and me and Mikhail's in a barbershop and Amin walked by. So he walked by going into the restaurant next door. Mm-hmm. And so he's just looking through the window and he said, yo, you know him? And I said, yeah, I know him. He's a good brother. He said, be careful with him, man, because that dude, like, he like to lead people astray. He lead young men astray. And, bro, just his word made me stop going to the classes with Amin. Real shit. Just his word. He didn't even have to tell me why and nothing. I was just like, oh, Mikhail said that? So Mikhail said, another brother said it, and then I stopped going to classes, right? So now, I didn't have back then I'm young, so I didn't have no real, nothing, no why or nothing, but it wasn't until once me and him grew apart. I mean, I ended up going back to the classes, but once I really found out what was behind that, it was old street shit. It had nothing to do with Islam. Mm-hmm. Like, that's over drugs and women shit that they had back in the day. Or just, I'm from this side of town, he from Pitney Village, I don't fuck with Pitney niggas. Like, literally, that's all that was about. Now, mind you, I know, I can name quite a few people that don't like Imam Amin. There's things that Amin do that I don't like. But that don't have nothing to do with Islam. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I separate character stuff. Like, I might not like something that you do or don't do, but that don't have nothing to do with my brotherhood with you. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is with people, they don't know how to separate the two. So, I mean, one day I was in here and one of my clients came, and she's not a regular client. She's just really a friend of mine, like a childhood friend. Mm-hmm. And she made an appointment on my app. And she came in to get the haircut, or she was getting color or something. And when she came in, whatever what she wanted, it was going to take me a lot longer to do than what she actually booked for. So I was trying to explain that to her. That wasn't what she wanted to hear. She wasn't being mean enough, but she was just like, you acting funny. And I'm like, I'm not acting funny. I'm just trying to explain to you I don't have enough time to do that tonight. Mm-hmm. But on your app it says, and CJ, you just changed, and you acting. And I had to really sit down and take the time. So I said, yo, nothing changed about me. I'm just trying to explain to you why we have to wait until tomorrow to do this. I'm not being funny. Mm-hmm. And once I explained it, she understood. But how often do people see something that doesn't fit whatever their ego or their desires want, and then they just mark it up to, that nigga acting funny, he acting brand new, she got a new car, and that's how we write it off. So, like you said with the brother that got the promotion, and nobody congratulated him, it just went, like, we call it hate, but it might line up with somebody might have in their head, yo, that person don't deserve that. It ain't even that they think they deserve it. They just feel like that person doesn't deserve that. That person changed, or that person's acting funny, or they didn't do the work and they get. But you don't realize that, yo, Allah is the Lord of all the worlds, right? He's the Lord of the believers and the disbelievers. He can bless disbelievers with whatever he wants, for whatever reason he wants to, because he's their Lord too. He's their Rabb as well. He's providing and sustaining for them. He loves the believers, but they may one day become believers. You don't know what he got in store for them. So if he bless, if let's say Allah blessed that man with a promotion or whatever it was, yo, why wouldn't you? Well, I don't congratulate them. They kafar.
That's the thing. Even with that, it's like, yo, you won't find nowhere in the Shira where the Prophet ever called somebody a kafir.
No, you're
it's
right.
It's not there.
You're right.
Even the Sahabas, you know what they would call them? Like Abdullah, like enemy of Allah. Because they had this thought in their head that might be a potential Muslim. For instance, Abu Sufyan, right? He was opposed to the Prophet sent all the way up until like the 2 years before the Prophet passed away, to the conquest of Mecca. And then he accepted Islam. Mm-hmm. But Umar used to call him all the time, Abdullah. He never called him a kafir. Mm-hmm. Nothing. And this is what we do. You know what I mean? We call everybody kafir, mimicking the Prophet ﷺ, and he didn't even do that himself. Or the Sahaba.
You right.
But
then like, if you don't study the seerah, like if you the most seerah somebody might know be like seal nectar. If you don't, it ain't that's not that extensive. So at the end of the day, if you're not studying it, then you don't know. You gotta read these books, man. Yeah. Like what I loved about that one book, that Revelation book.
That's the best one I read.
Well, so you know why I like that? Because it gives you.
It got Quran with this here.
Yeah, but it gives you the lineages. Like that stuff I never knew. I never knew like that some of the companions don't. I'm not gonna quote which ones. I ain't gonna remember. But some of them was like cousins,
third cousins,
and first cousins, and say, like I'm like, dang man, that's really close. Like to be having a beef of that magnitude with somebody, and they really close in proximity. In relation to each other, and then when she put it in that perspective, you were like, "Damn, man!"
What made
I can understand why the war happened.
What made Abu Jahl a kafir, right? Is because he knew the Prophet was the Prophet. He did, but it was tribe. It was the Banu Hashim against the Banu Makhzum. He was Banu Makhzum. He said, "When they give out in charity, we give out in charity." We compete with them. When they get a horse, we go get 5 horses. But now they got a man that's claiming to be a prophet. How can we compete with that?
Compete with it,
That tell you that it was about tribalism and stuff. But he knew the Prophet was who he was, because they asked him, "Is he a prophet?" And he said yes, he believed that. But that tribalism wouldn't allow him to, because they didn't want no tribe to have one up over theirs. And this is what we experienced too, with the same one with us. Like we just won't see you get up,
bro. Yo, I'll tell you a story, bro. Like in Pleasantville. So I'm from the north side of Pleasantville, right? And even though I never got in no street shit. I always played the middle. So I got nerd friends. I got street friends, right? That's always been me. I'm right in the middle. I hang with everybody. Hang with the girls. Hang with the street niggas. Hang with the musicians. Hang with the ball. Like whoever. Like I just was right in the middle of everything. So growing up, all my street friends, they played in the street, sold drugs, did shit, whatever. I didn't participate, but our side of town always beef with niggas from the south side, right? Now, some of them was our friends. And, I don't got to get into it, but there was a situation that happened where one of my best friends killed somebody on that side. And a few people. And didn't have anything to do with me. And the guy that got killed was my friend too. He was actually friends with us as well. It was a really unfortunate situation. But it fucked everything up around here, right? And so what happened, some of them dudes that was from the South never spoke to me again. Literally just, not even that we used to talk back then, but they wouldn't come and sit in my chair, wouldn't speak to me, not even like a head nod, nothing, based on my affiliation with the people from the north side, right? Now, and that's not even like, because I didn't get busy in the street. So I would be places and I would see these niggas and then, I don't fuck with him. I remember one time, imagine you coming to a barbershop as a walk-in, right? And at the time, I wasn't the best barber in the shop, right? But there's me and there's an old head. Now, I'm not the best guy in the shop. If you have the choice, all right, I'm going to go to him. I ain't going to this old man. Yo, I watch these young dudes from the south side come in that barbershop and walk right past me and go to the old man. The old man fuck their hair up, right? But they wouldn't fuck with me just because of my affiliation with the niggas I'm cool with, right? So, bro, this goes on for 20-some years, right? 20 years. And now, one of the dudes, and alhamdulillah, he's Muslim, good dude. Never get one day, I'm at the barber school teaching a class, right? So my friend, she asked me to come in to teach this class. And one of the dudes is old Southside nigga, official old head certified gangster nigga, right? She brings him into the class. I'm teaching the class, so she brings him in, and she says, "Yeah, come on in. I got a friend of mine going to teach his barber class." I mean, he was a student there at the time, so I mean, he's older than me, but he's a student. So he comes and sits in the class. Whatever, before he sits down, he comes in. He sees me. I literally, while I'm teaching class, I see him do this. Man, I ain't watching this shit, right? So she pulls me to the side. She said, "Listen, this is going to help you. We don't have barbers come here often. Sit down. He really knows his stuff," right? So I taught the class, and as I'm teaching, I felt uncomfortable because I know the nigga don't like me, right? And then, so at the end of the class, like, because I started watching him pay more attention. And at the end, everybody, you know, they want to take pictures and thank you and stuff. And so he pulled me to the side. He said, "Bruh, I can't front. You really know your shit. Like, you know that stuff, bro. I gotta give you your props." And I said, "Yeah, that's all good." But we never talked about no old beef because I never had beef with him. It was just he didn't like the niggas I rolled with.
So what happened? Did he apologize?
He didn't apologize, but he apologized.
Yeah.
Because he gave me the slams, and now every time I see him, nigga talk to my ear off. But you think about that, that's 20 years. No, but here's the thing. He never actually knew me. Yeah. That's the crazy part. Right, so 20 years go by, you just don't like me because I'm from these areas. You know what I'm saying? And you from where you from. Like, you from the South, I'm from the North. I don't fuck with that nigga. He fuck with so-and-so and them. That's just all it is. And it ain't that I never didn't mess with him. It was just, bruh, I keep my distance because I don't want to get in y'all stuff. I never had nothing to do with none of that. But dude never talked to me. And it wasn't just him. It was him and other dudes. Some of them dudes is dead. Some of them is in jail now. But, bruh, now all of them, we see each other and we speak and,
why you say that? Because it's y'all older?
Yeah, you just grow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny. One of my friends, she go with one of them dudes from down there. Now, same thing. She would come in here, and she was my client. So, and when she was started going with him, he didn't like. I guess he said something to her like, "Yo, why you go with that nigga?" You know what I mean? And she told him, "That's my friend." And when she actually asked him, "What's your issue with CJ?" He didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened, she actually brought him in here and introduced him. But mind you, I knew him. Good. Yeah, but here's the thing. We always knew each other. We went to high school together. We in the same graduating class, everything. It's just, I don't fuck with him because his friend killed my friend. But his friend that died was my friend too. We was all friends. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't kill nobody, and I'm not defending what my friend did. He's still my friend. But I'm not defending what he did. It's just shit that happened. And it was like years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things, like when you see that stuff in real time play out, and then you read the Sirah and you like, yo, like it's the same play that happens over and over. Yeah. It just repeats. Like, so when I would start reading the Sirah and I put it to what I went through in real life, I'm like, yo, I can understand this different. Like, I can understand it a whole lot better. And some of these things, what people don't realize, right? When, let's say you go and you start working on yourself, right? You might go get therapy, or you read some books, or you pray, or whatever it is you do, and you start to mature. What people do, they'll mature, and then they think that because they're mature, that everybody else is. They're not. So now you got to understand how you're going to deal with these people who aren't mature. Yeah. So that's why I tell you, yo, it's really about you learning how to take L's correctly, which is really all marriages to me. So it's like, yo, like when you married to somebody, you really trying to stay with them. Now you just figuring out like, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that. Like you just trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard to let go because you like, nigga, I'm who I am. But you constantly checking yourself because you can't fight every battle. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight every battle.
You gotta pick and choose.
And some of them just ain't worth it. Yeah. But what happens is like, yo, you go and you do that work on yourself, and then you thinking and other people, they ain't do that. And they might not be there. And you might think that they should might not be there. That's why I said it would be beneficial if people studied the character of the Prophet, because he knew
human beings were levels, and they like we all know the Bedouin that came in and pissed, and they was gonna stomp him out, but he knew that his level of intelligence, they don't know no better, and we got people like that. That's just that raunchy type of attitude that got that type of attitude towards people and don't have that understanding like you said. So you got to go down to their level and be like, listen,
bro. And it took me a long time to have some understanding. I don't even like to act like I have all the understanding because I know I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Neither do I. I get what you.
No, but what people think that like they look at life like there's. Like it's a mountain that you climb to the top of. You know what I'm saying? And it don't work like it's a cycle. Because, so
it's phases.
Yeah, you don't arrive at and say, bruh, I made it. I understand. Or I'm living my best life. Nah, you don't even know if you're living your best life. We say that, but we don't know if you're living your best life. Like so you really the best life thing is when you find contentment, when you understand.
Yeah, but people
they don't understand.
Yeah, I was about to say
because if you look at things. Like, bro, I'll sit there and I watch my girl, right? And it's funny as hell to me. But sometimes, like, she'll be on social media and then be just talking to the screen. She'll go through the post and like, man, look at this what she said, and she should know better. And I'm like, how you get to say that? Now, some of that stuff, it irritates me too when I see it. But I don't know the maturity level of the person. You know what I'm saying? So for me to say, yo, you 40 years old, you don't be acting like that. You 50 years old, I can't say what you, because I don't know what you've been through.
That's what Kiva said. Kiva said exactly what you said. She said, I don't know the way her mind thinks. Same thing, maturity level of the person to determine. Because obviously your natural position is like, well, they can't be that mature enough if they behaving like this. You'll put yourself like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's one of them things. Like for me, what I try to do, I try to take the word "should" out of my vocabulary, so that I don't say what I think somebody should, unless you ask me for advice. Now, if you ask me for advice, then I say, yo, maybe you should try this and do. But just without being solicited, I don't walk around saying this should happen, that should happen, because then it just opens up the door for disappointment. And then now what happens? I have a scope of something that. It's just entirely based on my biased opinion on what I think should happen, and it ain't about me. So as you mature, you get older, you start understanding that the world. We always say the world don't revolve around us, right? But when you really understand that, then you have to. It's not that you just be okay, because there's a lot of things I'm not okay with, but. I know I still have to navigate the world. So I'm firm in what I believe and what I stand for and my principles. Then, all right, cool. Like they always say with us, I can have a conversation with a group of women and they're drinking and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Or I can have a conversation with, the so-called trans Muslim or a lesbian. Yeah. Like, all right, cool. Because what you have going on in your life or what your life choices, they don't threaten my belief or my Islam.
That's the same thing about all of nothing has changed with me in my relationship with Allah. My Aqidah is still the same. Nothing changed.
Yeah, now here's the thing. If I'm a weak person and if me interacting with, let's say, all right, I'm talking to somebody and they're drinking, and that's going to make me take a drink, then I shouldn't be having a conversation with that person.
But here's the thing. People say that, right? But they'll be at their relative's house. And they they'll find that no problem with their mom and dad drinking at the house. Or just their mom and their aunts drinking. But they sit and, and say something about us too, about that's their belief. You can't tell a Christian person that they can't drink.
The funny thing is, now I had to actually correct myself on that because even though I grew
They said it was a shop. It's inside of your shop.
Oh, no, yeah. The comments like, is that a Muslim establishment? I said, one, we closed. We was closed when we did that conversation. So we were closed, and two, like I said, I don't drink. So I wasn't, like, their thing was, their group is called Women Over Wine. They're good sisters. And our like, what people don't, they always do that with us, where it's like, we always end up talking about Islam because we're Muslim.
Yeah.
But this ain't a Muslim podcast.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not just dedicated to Islamic issues.
Sometimes though, CJ, when you listening to people, you gotta remove the personality and listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, of course. But I know that. But again, I don't put my own judge bias on that.
That's
so
why I said that. It's like, yo, take that out the equation and listen.
Yeah, but so because I know people don't do that, so let's say we do a video or we put the video out, and now mind you, the topic may be whatever the topic is. A lot of times the title of the video is going to be general, based on like what we can get you to click on or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not here, like, I'm not a speaker. You're not a speaker. I'm not the imam. I'm not the moral fabric of what you should be basing anything on. We just two niggas talking. Yeah, right? So we just talking, voicing opinions and airing shit out. Now, if I'm having a conversation with somebody else and they're not Muslim, again, I'm not here promoting Islam. I am Muslim. It's a difference. So I'm a Muslim. Islam might come up when we're talking, but I'm not here. This is literally this whole YouTube thing. It only started. I was trying to show haircuts first. That's when it started. And then the idea came of, yo, a lot of funny shit be happening in the barbershop. Let's record the funny shit. Now, we record the funny shit. And then, because we Muslim, like I'm Muslim, Keith Muslim, some of the barbers that used to work here, most of them was Muslim. And of course, we talk about Islamic stuff sometimes. So that's how that, and then a lot of the clients around here are Muslims. So then they come, they get their hair cut. We talk about stuff, we record it, we put it out.
Well, people are keeping it real because they know, and others, nobody don't be talking about Islam all day. Come on now.
Nah, yeah, and we don't. We definitely don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even them.
No, I'm talking about, they don't either. And you know that, it's like, and I don't want to be the keeping a real guy, right? But really, this is literally, we don't have no topics before we start none of this shit. Mm-hmm. This is a real barbershop. That's why sometimes when you do the videos, they be like, well, I hear clippers in the back because it's a barbershop. This isn't a production.
Like a stage.
You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe.
Or scripted.
I ain't gonna front. Sometimes I wish it was, but I don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I don't mean like a script. I'm talking about make a real production. Like, this ain't a set. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, like, I don't even be, for the most part, I don't really clean my station up before we do this shit. Like, it just, man, throw the camera on. Like, sometimes we be in here and we talk and something funny happen, or somebody say something really stupid, and then somebody be like, yo, get the camera out, CJ. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm getting the camera. And we get the camera recorded, and that's that, because it's funny. Mm-hmm. Now, then what happened, so now, because we got an audience of people that are Muslim, and I respect them and love them. But I'm not saying I don't want Muslim audience, but at the same time, I'm not catering to anybody because I'm not running.
It's a general
so
conversation.
What happens? So let's say I go and
sometimes it don't always be about Islam. Sometimes it might be about sex, intimacy.
But listen, so sometimes if we post a video and all right, I get this all the time. You curse too much, or you do, and I'm like,
nigga, be lying, man.
No, look,
people be lying. They curse.
No, they do. But what I'm saying is, we talking about sex or some shit, or we talking about dating or something, and then somebody come in the comments, dating is haram. And I'm like, nigga, I'm not talking to Muslims. Like, they're not Muslim. Everybody that comes and sit in the chair and be on the camera is not Muslim. So who am I to be sitting there saying, yo, that's haram what you doing? You're not even a Muslim. Like, bro, yo, it's funny. I got an old video too. I should post it. I got an old video of one of my boys.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Listen. So one of my boys, he was sitting right in that chair, and I recorded. This might like 2 years old. I might put it up. But he was saying, why y'all always talking about what's haram or what ain't haram? Like, I don't care about that. I don't even believe in God. And so we had a whole debate about the existence of God. I just never posted it because I be getting sick of it'd be too many religious conversations. But I might post it. I might go back and post it. But he was like, bro, And not that I agree with him, I understood what he was saying. He was like, yo, what's haram and halal don't matter to me because I don't even believe in God. I don't believe that exists. I don't believe none of that exists.
Yeah, he don't have no standard.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so now the question for me was like, all right, well, what do you base how do you get morality? And I'm not saying that you can't. I'm always intrigued. How do you figure out what's right or wrong?
Right, that was a good
You know what I'm saying? So he's going on by, no, you go by what feels good. So then my argument always is, well, there's pedophiles that feel like what they're doing is good or it's okay. Nah, that's different. Well, what's the difference?
Who set that standard? Yeah.
Somebody got to set a standard.
Yeah.
But like, bro, it'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting. And
so
I don't
what would their response be to that?
I'm going to post a video.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. You know why I say that? Because I don't know if you know, but they did a survey on American, like the children, not us, the elder ones, but our children's generation. A lot of them are what they like to call deists. They don't believe in organized religion. That's 42% in America. It went up from 2006.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, from 2006 it was only 16%. Now in 2020, we're in 2022.
I don't know where you always get these percentages from.
What? No, because I be on them the statistic bureau and see
I got friends of mine, right? Especially from like a lot of the friends that I had from the investment community and trading and stuff. A lot of them don't have quote unquote organized religion. Man, one of my friends, good people, just is lesbian sister, and she said one time in one of my groups, she was saying how she had all these questions about Islam, and because she was taking like a religious course in college, and she was saying how she went and she asked a Muslim about Islam and stuff, and how would it apply to her being as though she was gay. Bruh, all you got to do is ask the wrong person, and when they answer you, his answer was, no, well, we don't believe in that. We believe you go to hell. And she was like, well, you think I'm going to go to hell? He said, I can't say where you're going to go, but we believe that gays go to hell. Now, that made her say, I'm not interested in Islam. Right? Now, I'm not here to say whether something's right or wrong, but I know that approach. If you tell somebody, what's going to happen to me? You're going to hell. They're going to go the other way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now that doesn't mean that you change a religious ruling or whatever. My thing is always, I can't tell you who's going to heaven or hell. I can tell you what the law says. Yeah, so I can tell you what the law says. Now, what a law chooses to do with you, that's something different. That's something totally different.
Allah says that, man, it's explicit. Allah says, you have no right in the matter. Who goes to heaven and hell? And he said that. Yeah. Allah said that to the Prophet or something.
Exactly. But that's my thing, where that takes it off of yourself. And that's why I was trying to tell. I said, that person that told you that had no right to tell you that. Now I don't never get into that. Because I don't know what people be doing in their personal lives. I have no idea. Like, this might be kind of off-brand topic, but we have this argument all the time in here, right? Mm-hmm. About what makes a person gay. Is it your identity or is it your act? Yeah. I always say it's the act. Yeah, right? Act. Now, hear me out. So my point was, like, because people want to claim the identity. I know what you about to say. Don't have no idea what this is. That's how I do.
Because it's people I see, I'm like, man, this dude gay. But
no.
He's not.
No, but here's my point. There's dudes that like to engage in anal sex, right?
With a woman?
With a woman. In my opinion, I'm not going to say it makes you gay, but you borderline gay.
Yeah.
Because you get my point? Exactly. Because, it's this. Why would you choose that over
vagina? And the vagina gets, it lubricates for you to do.
Yeah. So when people, or like, we had this argument one time, and I wanted to post this video so bad. We had a video in here. It was his brothers in here, and we was talking about
I say the same thing at my job.
But my thing, when dudes be saying that they like that kind of stuff done to them, I'm like, bro, you gay. No, I do that with a woman. Nigga, you gay.
Yeah.
You gay. Mm-hmm. No, make me gay.
Except when they get it done to them.
Exactly.
Nah, you're a homosexual.
Exactly. I said you gay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. That don't mean I'm saying, yo, man, like you know, I'm not condemning gay people. I'm just saying that would make you gay if you got something inserted into
homosexuality.
Yeah, that's the sodomy.
Yeah,
something like, bro, that's gay.
Penetrating the rectum, man. That's it. I'm trying to be polite. Penetrating, and if it's penetrating.
You know what's funny? When every time what makes this shit funny, like when you say shit vulgarly, right? It sounds normal to me. But when you say,
I'm trying to say it politely.
Polite stuff, this shit sounds weird as a motherfucker. I'm like, this shit sounds creepy as hell. Not just you, anybody who does it. Anytime when we've been evangelism,
you don't even let him play with his butt.
That's how niggas really talk.
I know.
The crazy thing. Anytime we be the manager and I would hear when that mean is teaching and he's saying things properly, I be dying. Cause I'm like, this nigga don't talk like that. Like, and that's not regular. Like, you know,
he's just trying to be polite.
I know, but it's funny. It's so funny to watch him when he get the voice.
Ain't nobody gonna be like, yeah, man, he was playing with your ass.
That's what it be.
I know.
That's what it be, though, bro.
Ain't nobody gonna say that, though. Man, you can't say that.
I know you can't, but it's like, to me, that's what makes me giggle when I hear it. That's not just
at the job. It's you know when
yeah, niggas is foul.
Like, oh, you like boy butt, huh?
Yeah. You know they call it the gays. They call it boy pussy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. My son, he got me too. He like, yo, I'm eating a banana. He like, what they call it, glizzy?
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell is that? So I'm like, you can't eat a banana. You gotta take it apart.
That's just, I don't eat bananas either, man. I would never.
You can't do that. A hot dog, you gotta watch what you eat around the kids.
Yeah, that's how we say pause. Pause, man. This shit's crazy, man.
But that's becoming a reality. That's the part that I have a problem with. Is that 40 that number jumping from 16% to 42. That joint is like staggering.
Yeah, no,
a lot of people just giving up on religion.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I forget that same sister. That's what she told me. She said, "Nah," she said, "I don't follow organized religion, you know, and that's one of the reasons why it's caused too much division." And the thing is, even though I don't agree with that, I understand where it comes from because where the experiences that they have and what they hear or what they be like, nah, I don't want to get in on it. You know what I mean? Like, and look, check it out. I had to check my own stuff. That's why I was starting with. I forgot this point. I used to think, even though I was Christian for a long time, and I gonna say I thought, but fiqh isn't as explained in Christianity like it is in Judaism and Islam, right?
What the Jews do got something? They got halakha.
Yeah. So they actually have fiqh, but I never. See, you gotta remember when you're in Christian school and you're studying the Bible, it's so much interpretation that right. And you when you're in it, you don't know that it's a lot of interpretation, right? So once you start figuring out, you're like, oh, nah, this is different from actual law because it's someone else's interpretation. But what made me bring this up, I was watching two things. I saw Amari Stoudemire on Real Sports. You know, he's a Jew. He's a Hasidic Jew, and he lives in New York, and
he live in that community.
And so him, and then I watched. Remember the rapper Shine, right? He was on Drake Chains,
right?
And both of the Amari Stoudemire has his own line of liquor that he comes on. Now, when I watched that, and the same thing when I saw Shine, he was on there drinking. I was like, yo, you know, alcohol is impermissible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for us,
that's why I forgot.
Yeah.
So I forgot that for them,
and the Muslim can't tell them.
And you're right. And
according
I forgot. No, you're absolutely right. But I forgot that, and I had to check myself because I used to argue that with Jews and not really Jews, but more so Christians. I would argue like, yo, nah, like. Alcohol is prohibited. Y'all just don't follow. I used to tell Christians that when I would argue with them, and I was wrong. I had to go back and check myself because I forgot that the Prophet Muhammad Islam, like alcohol at one point was permissible for us to change.
Right.
And so if you go back and they're still following rules or fiqh from the Torah or from the Injil and stuff,
it's permissible.
It is permissible
for them.
So that's my point. Back to the original point, they say, yo, y'all talking to people and they drinking. It's like that's permissible for them.
Yeah, not for
That's
us.
not for us.
Yeah.
You don't see me drinking, so why I'm sitting here tripping? Now, mind you, personally, even if we could drink, I wouldn't drink because
Me
I
don't
just
like it.
it's not my thing. Yeah, but you know, people that have problems with that, like I got family members that's Muslim that have addiction issues.
They act like that stuff. Washi Ibn Hard, the one that killed Hamza.
Yeah.
He had a drinking problem. This is known.
Yeah.
That after he accepted Islam, Hazrat Umar was known to flog him multiple times for drinking. And it was two of them, him and Nu'aym ibn Amr. They were the two known to be drunkards. But the difference between Washi and Nu'aym ibn Amr is that he was a practical joker. He would like to play jokes on
people. I'm gonna be some of that
and stuff like that. But it's like, y'all act like that stuff it wasn't going on even then.
Because they don't know. People don't know though.
They still had things that they were still doing. Just like now, that issues that they was dealing with still after they had Shahada. During the time of when the Prophet was gone. But they still had personal problems that they was dealing with. That's what I don't get about people. That's why I be like, you know what be rocking my brain? Like when somebody make a mistake, like a scholar make a blunder, they make it like this big thing. Like this dude, he like, bro, he's human. He can make a mistake.
You gotta remember too, and Imam told me that before. Ooh, it might have been him. Like you gotta remember that, you know, like in Christianity they call it the mint game, right? But we had the same thing in Islam where they're playing the actual business of Islam. They're playing the popularity of Islam, the social status. That's a whole nother level than what we doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, that ain't, and doesn't mean all the scholars are doing it, but some of them actually are doing that where, you know, they checking each other and they competing with each other. Bro, I don't get in that shit. You know what I mean? And whether it's haram or not, that ain't even an issue. Y'all niggas are still doing it. Y'all looking at y'all numbers and you comparing them. You saying, oh, so-and-so got, look how many views he got versus my views. Well, I'm trying to get my view. Like, they actually having a battle amongst these in the competition. Now,
but I'm saying, all right, if we're going to use that, right, what has changed since then? It's still the same. Imam Bukhari became the top guy around everywhere. So much so that he was taking students away from other prominent scholars. You know what they did? They say he was a Shiite.
That's my point. That's the actual point that I'm getting at.
It's still the same stuff.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff. And then, now, what happens is we don't, because we're, we over 1,000 years removed from them. So we only hear the romanticized stories.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't hear some of that backstory until you actually dig deep and you sit with some scholars that'll share that stuff with you. But, you know, here's the thing. You ever think about this? 100 years from now, are people, well, I mean, they might, but people are going to have romanticized stories about us.
Yeah.
And with the exception
our
of...
children going to do that, though.
No, but with the exception of me and you, because we on video cursing. The difference is it ain't... Imagine how things are going to look different.
Ban us.
No, they going to be banned, but it's like... It might not even be that way because you don't know how things are going to play with... Because everything's progressive. The same way, I never thought... I mean, even from... When I took Shahada, so I took Shahada in 98. From 98 to now, if you would have asked me back then if I ever thought I'd see on TV or on Instagram or something, a woman leading men in prayer and stuff, I'd have told you, no, I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But I seen it.
Yeah, I seen the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? You see it now, or you see the whole trans. You would not even in the same, just exist. Like even though I knew of transsexuals back then, they weren't even called transsexuals. It was just all the trannies. You know what I'm saying? And that's impolite to say now, right? I don't even looking at myself as old, but back then you said tranny. You like remember when the story of Mr. C came out with the DJ, and they were saying like he's like to go down there and deal with. They were saying on the radio loosely tranny, or you would go places and then people would say faggot loosely, and it wasn't nothing. And now it's some things you can't say. It's offensive to say, but
you can't say midget.
No, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is like, imagine how it's gonna look 20 years from now, 30 years from now, whatever, and how things are gonna get. Not only they're gonna change, but then certain things are gonna get romantic. You're not gonna hear about some of the dirt and stuff because these people that we look up to and hold up so high, you're not gonna be. Even though this stuff is recorded, like, so you have YouTube and stuff, but imagine these videos now that you go on YouTube now, you see videos that are, you see the history on the 9 years old. Imagine 20 years from now. Are we even going to put up them videos that are 20 years old? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to make it into the algorithm? They might not make it. They might still be in the library, but you might not, unless somebody tells you, yo, man, go, like somebody say something and they, say, yo, man, go pull up that video of Khalil when he said tranny in 2022. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be all over the TV.
Yeah, but for the most part, if it don't make it into the algorithm, how you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever see that video of Chris Rock in
You talking about people taking sound bites?
Oh yeah, they always do. But remember that video? It was Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. and Louis A.K. He was telling a joke about how the nigger. Yo, that video is over 9 years old.
It resurfaced?
It resurfaced. They brought it up. This is one of the things they was using when they was trying to, blackball him and stuff, right? Bro, I watched that on TV live. And when I watched it, I understood the joke and I wasn't offended at all. You know what I'm saying? If you actually watch the whole clip.
The content. Yeah, the full content.
Yeah, he isn't saying anything racist at all. But the way that they took that clip and they started passing it around, and then it's like, yo, why did Chris Rock let Louis C.K. say this and that?
Oh, man, they doing that a lot, man.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the crazy part. You can't find the original video nowhere because now everybody took it off. See what I'm saying? So now what's going on? The same thing we just talking about, that romanticizing, people are removing things from history. I can't even find the original version of that video.
Wow.
But I remember not verbatim, but it was Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Seinfeld, Ricky Gervais, and it was this program that HBO used to have come on where they would bring these. It was like before podcasts were popular, but they would have these interviews with these comedians. They just sit in a room and let them talk. They were being candid with each other, and the question was, when can a white comedian use the N-word, right? And so Ricky Gervais was like, I never touch it. You know what I'm saying? Seinfeld was like, I don't touch it. I don't even curse, really. This is too touchy, whatever. And so Louis C.K. was like, yo, it can be done. You just can't be. It's the way that you word it. And then he goes, for instance, I used to have this bit I used to do. And then he said the joke. And then they laughed. And then Seinfeld was like, yeah, even that. It's funny, but I don't feel comfortable. Like, cause I don't want nobody to think I'm offending them by laughing. You know what I mean? He was saying all that. But like I said, when you watch the clip, all they got now is the clip. They don't have the whole 50-minute interview of it.
Yeah.
And
that's a soundbite.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Imagine how it's going to be years from now. Because society is so messed up, right? That it is so sensitive that as soon as somebody gets offended, now digitally, you can, that just with the cancel culture thing, you could just go in history and remove it. It didn't happen then. You know what I'm saying?
Leave that little piece.
Yeah, we remove, or imagine if somebody found out something.
Like me and you was just talking about the boy.
Yeah.
And they just took that little part.
Take that part, but not only that, like what they did, literally, like what's going on with R. Kelly, right? Like, so now is not that people have really done it, but it's unpopular to play a R. Kelly song. It's almost inappropriate. They made it inappropriate where you're offending somebody. I like his music. I don't condone any of the stuff he did, but at the end of the day, they want to remove everything the man did out of history. But we don't do that. You don't do that to Elvis. You didn't do that to Phil Spector. Like, none of these people that did heinous things, in history, you don't do that. I mean, there's countless people in politicians and presidents and stuff. You haven't removed the contributions that the good contributions that they made to
well, that's what somebody said with Bill Cosby. They was like, well, if you're going to incriminate him, give all the money back that he don't.
That too, but even him, like you don't see the Cosby Show come on no more.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't watch the Cosby Show no more. It's just and that's the stuff that like Felicia Rashad was talking about. Like, yo, you can't just. It's not that you're speaking up for the person because you're friends with them. It's like, no, like we not like one of the things I hated when they did with the R. Kelly thing was they was trying to go back and say, oh, this song, he made this song, he was singing it to little kids. That's what. How do you know that? You don't know what his intent was by that. You know what I'm saying? It's a song. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not singing about a little girl, like. But the point I'm making is
artists that they don't always write those songs.
No. He writes those songs, but the thing they saying is that he wrote these songs and now they make sense, and it's like, bruh, he may have been the nastiest nigga ever, but to me, once you start playing with history like that
make no sense.
Yeah,
what you saying?
I know, but as I'm saying, once you start playing with history, now we're just writing the rules is the way.
Nothing.
Yeah, we're writing things the way that we want them to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way that we want the
history.
You're shaping it the way you want things to be now to fit the narrative that you want now. That ain't cool.
That's dangerous.
It's super dangerous.
Yeah.
It's super dangerous. That's
so you mean to tell me they're gonna erase all these horrible figures in American history?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm sure, right? Like, you ever see, like, I saw online before, they had like a gallery of Hitler smiling. Like, because I'm sure there's times he's a real human. You know what I'm saying? So he had to smile. And
yeah, I know, right.
You know what I'm saying? But you won't see none of that stuff because the picture is just, mind you.
He's a dictator.
He's a dictator. He's a heinous
psycho.
I know what
but you don't want people to see
they don't want them to ever see another side of it.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I just had that conversation with my daughter.
They're going to do the same thing with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Same thing. And that's the danger of...
My daughter said... she asked a history teacher, how come... She asked him, she said, where's the good part of history? Like, well, all we read about is violence. Like, where's the good parts? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they don't, like you said, they leave it out. They always paint this narrative in history of you gotta hear her talk, man. She Honey is wild, man. She's convinced white people ain't from this planet. She says because they do too much stuff. She's like, it's no way. Like, they just violent as heck. And we ain't teach her that.
No, that's just what she come up with.
Yeah, because in history class, in Agog Township, right, she takes this class called American History Literature, African American History Literature. So they watching 12 Years a Slave, they watch Django, they watching all this stuff, right? So her mind is like, white people is crazy. You know what I mean? There's something wrong with them. So she comes to the conclusion like, they can't be from this planet.
Bruh.
This is her conclusion. This without me adding anything to it. She said,
Listen. The funny thing about that, right? When I was a kid, I used to feel the same way. That was part of what the appeal was. So when I first got interested in Islam, it was through Malcolm X, of course, right? But I was attracted to the Nation of Islam. But that's what they used to teach, the whole Yakub's theory that the white man created a test.
It was graphic.
Yeah. So of course I knew that wasn't true when I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. But when I used to read it, I used to always feel like I don't blame Elijah Muhammad for teaching these niggas that shit though, because at the end of the day, look at the shit that white folks have done.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
this is my influence, Akiva influence. This is her own conclusion based on historical facts.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes to that conclusion like, yo, it gotta be something wrong with these people.
But look, this is always my thing. I wasn't alive during the civil rights movement and stuff, but how I always took it, like when people always condemn Elijah for kufr and all this stuff, but to me, I'm thinking back then, you try to understand the rationale, and I think maybe he thought that might have been the kick in the ass that blacks needed to get up and move then.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying?
You know why? Because at that time, right, black people had a common enemy, which was the white man.
Yep.
So that forced us to stick together because we all knew who the enemy was. Now we don't know who the enemy is because integration and all that stuff, and all these things. We've been bombarded with so many things that we don't know what the heck is the enemy no more, and we ain't gonna stick together no more. But that forced black people to stick together because that's all they had.
Yep.
Now we all over the place now. But you gotta hear her, man. She'll go into all that stuff, and it's like, bruh, man. I'm serious, because they make them white, and her teacher is a Caucasian, is a white guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she asked him that question. He couldn't answer her. That he could not give her an answer. He said, nobody never asked me nothing like that. Yeah. He said, why are we always focusing on violence? She said, how you think that's going to affect the kids?
Like, but that's the popular part of, you know. I mean, you want to give is realistic of a.
Yeah, but you paint this picture like, dang, it wasn't never no peaceful moments in history.
Yeah, that's all you learn. I mean, that's the stuff that people hold on to. I mean, but then that's the same way. Like you'll go to another country, you're gonna. And
then it's conflicting. Say for example, she learned about Cleopatra. That's what they learned about, and she be like, "Who this white lady? They in Egypt." Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's how her thing is like that. You see the rationale of kid. He's like, yo, Egypt is in Africa.
Kids ain't stupid.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that lady was that white, like an American white lady in the Middle East? Y'all got an actual American white, not like a Middle Eastern white lady. Y'all got an American white lady looking like Cleopatra. So it's conflicting with her. So she like, her rationale case and like, this don't make sense. Why are y'all doing this?
Well, I mean, but you gotta understand too. I mean, not in defense of them or nothing, but at the end of the day, like the history that's painted is gonna reflect, like people. It's
gonna reflect them.
Yeah, it's natural for people to put in
their people
because I don't fuck with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like
I had to tell niggas like, listen, man. One time, black people couldn't even get a role. White people would paint their face black and pose as black people. Yeah. With the black face, and she learned all that stuff. It's good that she learning that stuff though.
Nah, yeah.